Now, as far as the Eastern Conference Finals, look, things started out okay for Boston on the road, even playing without Marcus Smart and without Al Horford. Third quarter, second half in its entirety, just a different story. We have got a report from Chris Haynes, and I just want you at home to note the thought process that went into where am I going to do my stand-up to get us into our coverage of Game 1. Here's Chris. All right, so, this game was 60.
You know what's so funny about Miami? Everybody go to Miami want to wear the tight shirts. Chris got on the tight shirt. Stephen A. had on that tight-ass suit last night. We know you're in Miami, guys. Come on.
and the ever-present cruise ships in the background. Miami just dominated the second half of that game. And the number that jumped out to when I looked at it was, look, Boston had 48 points in the paint in that game, but only 6 in the second half of that game. And that's when Miami took control.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the game, Boston won 3 or 4 quarters. If you tell a team that they're going to win 3 or 4 quarters, you think they automatically will win the game. The Heat dominated the third. But speaking of Jimmy Butler, it's just, for me, I'm just so happy for my little brother because just having conversations with him, playing with him in Chicago, and he's about his business. He's not laughing. He's not joking. He's playing physical basketball. He's leading that team on both ends of the floor. And that's the one thing Spo talked about and that team talks about. He's not just leading by scoring 30 and 40. He's doing it on the defensive end of the floor. He guards whoever he needs to guard, and his just impact as a leader on that floor is just, it's incredible to see.
What are you able to read, guys, from Game 1 of that series, given the injuries to Boston?
Zero. The advantages that Boston have.
Are you serious?
The advantages that Boston have in a lot of series is the fact that Al Horford could step out and force your big to be away from the rim, and Marcus Smart can defend the best player. That didn't happen. So you can't look at it as that's who
Did you
Boston
hear his
is.
question?
He said, what do you get out of that series, Game 1? I said, nothing, because the two players who have a significant impact weren't there. It's a loss, and they have to figure something out to get that game back. But two of the players that have clear advantages a lot of nights weren't in the game.
Well, I'm sorry. I thought you asked him what Boston didn't do. They could. Let me tell you something. He's 100% correct.
Okay, all right.
He was about
to fight me. I was about to swing on me and be like, Kenny, you were right.
That's all you want out of life.
Yeah.
Charles,
no,
because
because
you're right.
Ernie, his point is you got the best, arguably the best, probably the best defensive player in the league. Jimmy Butler probably don't get 40 if Marcus is there. But I thought it really hurt them on the offensive end because the floor shrunk in the second half. Because without Horford out there, they could sag in. That's why Boston didn't score after halftime. Spo made a great adjustment. He said, wait, we don't have to play their big guys because Al Horford's not out there. Because he does, you have to honor his three-point shooting. Yeah. And that floor shrunk in the second half of the game. But I don't think Al going to be there next game either.
First of all, Jimmy can get 40 if he puts his mind to it.
Oh, he can, but I'm saying...
No, with or without Marcus Smart, Jimmy Butler can get 40.
But it's still harder to get it on the defensive play. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Well, he's at that level. He's at that level now where at this point in the game, like D-Wade said, he's saying ain't nobody stopping him. They're focusing on defense.
No, disagree.
Listen.
Hey, but we all like
you don't think it's harder to score
on the defensive player of the year?
You don't think it's harder to score on Dennis Rodman?
You said last week, don't be bragging that you're a great player if somebody can shut you down.
It's harder
Marcus Smart ain't shutting Jimmy Butler down. If Jimmy Butler want to get 40, he going to get 40.
It's just 28, not 40.
He's going to get 40. If he want to get 40, he can get 40. He's that type of player now.
Well, we all like Jimmy Butler, but playing
don't be contradicting yourself.
No, I'm not contradicting.
You just said don't call yourself a great player.
I'm not. No, this is a totally different animal. I'm talking. It's harder to score on the defensive player of the year, fool.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
You better look at my finals against Dikembe Mutombo. No, it ain't. It is not. Jimmy Butler is a great player. If he want to get 40, he can get 40. I don't want to hear that defensive player of the year. I don't even want to hear that. Stop, get out of here, man. Check what I did to Dikembe Mutombo. Call him right now and ask him.
Listen.
I don't want to hear all that defensive player. Jimmy Butler.
Hold on for a second.
Jimmy Butler has earned my respect. Go ahead and say something.
Listen, Petty White. We ain't talking about you. We're talking about Jimmy Butler.
This is
Jimmy
facts.
Butler playing against the Defensive Player of the Year is a lot harder to play. Yes,
this
it
is
does.
facts. When you're
Yes,
a great
it does.
player, like you said, you get greater. You never got greater at this point in your career. I did. I know what I'm talking about.
No, you were riding on Dwayne and Kobe's coattails.
I got the Finals MVP. Yeah, that's right.
Let me point this out, too.
You never got
It was
greater.
easy to ride on other people's coattails.
Call Dikembe Mutombo. Ask you what I did to him.
I got his number 404.
Yeah.
He's still in Atlanta.
You guys both do me a favor. See the button that's on your microphone?
Yes.
Push the button that's on your microphone. Push that button. And you got yours pushed? Good, because that turned it off. What I want to say is...
Mine ain't turned off.
Mine ain't turned off either.
Miami